am Andrew Reich, Vice President of Business Development at Zixi. I'm joined by Gustavo Dutra from AWS. Gustavo, would love for you to introduce yourself, and thanks for
Sure,
joining.
sure. Thank you. I'm Gustavo. I'm a business development manager for media entertainment, games, and sports in AWS, based in Brazil and looking for Latin America, since Mexico till top down.
Awesome. So in Latin America, would love to get your perspective on customers in the broadcast sports space and how they're looking at video over IP and content distribution and contribution.
Yeah, no, sure. I used to be a customer in the past, so I used to work in one of the biggest media group in the region in Brazil, and what we could see, and even what they could see, like in our booth, is that how the our industry is becoming more and more IP and cloud, and we are demonstrating how it's more efficient in the most of the case to bring your workloads from on-premise to the cloud, and how we make it possible in an effective way, cost-effective way, operation effective way to the customer. So it was good to see, like in our booth, we split the 46 demonstration that we had in three big groups, big pillars: creation, great content creation, workload connection, and how you bring your audience and make their experience to enjoy the contents, the live contents, much more pleasurable. So was the feedback that I heard from the customer was the best possible, and we have good homeworks to do when we fly back to home.
Awesome. And so do you see video over IP and some of these video workflows that, Zixi's helping to enable? Do you see that transformation growing and continuing to happen in Latin America? Like you think more people will continue to adopt it?
Yeah, no. For example, 2 weeks ago, 10 days ago, in Brazil, the president signed the regulation for the next generation TV distribution, TV 3.0. It's based on ATSC 3.0 with some new tools, and Zixi was had a key. How can I say? Was one of our main partner, because you solve a very critical solution. When we do everything in the cloud, the idea is to do everything in the cloud, like the Movie Labs 2030. So we are bringing the ingest, the playouts, the encoding, routers, everything in the cloud. But in the end, in the last mile, you need to connect it to a terrestrial transmitter, for example, with the antenna. And Zixi helped us to make it possible to avoid losing package and build the streaming, the transport streaming that feed the transmitter in a very fidelity way that we could make it happen. And we're glad that we have this partnership, and you help us to solve this very critical situation.
So was at SET?
Yeah, we did this demonstration at SET Expo in Brazil in August, São Paulo. And there we showed this. As AWS, we had a live transmission demonstration from the station, the studios, to the cloud, and from the cloud to the transmitter in the station, in the RF station. But also we had the demonstration in our own booth. So, and with Zixi, we could be succeed in both demonstration during the SET Expo.
In that expo, I know you mentioned it a little bit before, but in that expo, how was Zixi integrating the workflow, and how was Zixi able to help in the demonstration?
Yeah, initially the idea was to do with a regular SRT tools, open source, but in the end of the day, we saw that we had to have something more, how can I say, strong, and that you can be trust for these transmission do this connection in the very last mile. So with Zixi on top, we could make sure, and we made sure that it happened and it succeeded. And the demonstration was super highlights in the show.
So Zixi was able to help your the demonstration.
Yeah, yeah. No, without Zixi, the modulation and the decoding of the streaming will not be good or enough good like demanded. So for all zero errors workload, so was a key
So
partner.
and I guess that would probably speak given Zixi's involvement at SET, and it seemed like a quick turnaround, short, not a lot of turnaround in that situation. Would you say it seemed like it was fairly seamless to set up and get integrated into the workflows?
Yeah, yeah, because I remember I was not in charge of the demonstration. I'm not this technical guy anymore, but our friends that were in charge of that, when he asked for the help from the team, it was very quickly and in the very same moment when we include Zix in the environment, we could fix all the issue that we were having. And when I say that we are having, in the end of the day, is an issue related to the architecture of the thing. So it's something that can be very important for the standard. This type of protection.
And given what you saw at SET at the conference in Brazil, it was a pretty good simulation of what a broadcaster would do and how they would orchestrate and set up their workflows. So given that, you would feel confident with that workflow and recommending that to a broadcaster using Zixi and AWS together.
Yeah, yeah. We know it's not a easy, especially for the very traditional broadcaster that did everything forever, since ever, on premise, and when the cloud arrived in this industry, and like the industry that I'm part, the media entertainment, games and sports vertical inside AWS, when they built this area, as you know, they bring people from the industry already, from the industry that have this experience. So the idea is more and more to translate the broadcast environment that you used to have forever, and always proving, working backward from customers' demands, but put it in the cloud and using all the benefits that we have in the cloud to make the broadcaster possible to be done in the cloud, like we are doing with the 3.0, for example. It's one of the best example, and that we can prove why cloud is so important. And we have different type of architecture, centralized, decentralized, but we are using a lot the TV 3.0, how can I say, momentum to work and develop and prove more and more the cloud advantage for this type of workload.
And within those workflows, you see the partnership with AWS and Zixi helping drive that momentum with broadcasters in Latin America.
Yeah, I think the best example was what happened during the SET Expo preparation. Not only in our, we had a booth there, not only in our booth, but in the live transmission that we had with that I told, that I just mentioned, with the station and AWS, as it is. We need to have the partners working with us. We need to have the ISVs working with us, and Zixi as one of our main partners in this vertical, in this solution area. We could see it happen live in the show there. So key a key partner in a very specifically demand that we had on that situation. That is, in the end of the day, it's just a simple what will be the real life very soon. We Brazilian broadcaster, they are start working in the 3.0 projects, that they will need to consider different partners for that, and definitely Zixi is one of the main for the transport
Awesome.
part in the of the streaming, the TV.
That's great. I really appreciate that.